Right, having removed this cover and the carpet from the tunnel, just checking on these nuts and bolts here for any looseness, because we fixed the gearbox a while ago, and so that could well be the reason. Doesn't appear to be any play, and actually I've put a spanner on them, and you can't move them. They're good. So that's not my knocking problem. I put the car up, jacked it up, and put some axle stands on there. Two's probably enough, but I prefer to go for a bit of overkill because I don't want a car falling on top of me. It's not worth it. Anyway, so now go and check the union joint and or joints, I should say, and those nuts. Now here's the item I've been suspecting. It's the union joint on the end of the drive shaft. So we need to just check, see if there's any play in here. It's important as well, make sure you haven't got the handbrake on, because I need to turn the shaft and the wheels to check that all the bolts and everything. If I move that, you can hear a lot of movement, but you'll get that anyway, because that's the whole of the you're moving everything, so any slight play you're going to pick up. So basically you've got to isolate by holding the bits and just see. I don't know if this is videoing or not. I'm holding both this, and actually there's no play in there, whereas if I let go of everything, you heard earlier that there was. So it's a matter of first visually inspecting, and then I'll put a spanner on these nuts. Actually these nuts feel, but I will go around and make sure they're tight once I've finished, but they seem to be all right. Right, there's another union joint around here as well. I'm going to have a lot of space for videoing, but right, again, looking at this, just turning the wheel because it's a bit easier. Right, those visually, and again I'll use the spanner on them to doubly make sure, those ones seem to be fine. Oh, so move across to typical. The last one I look at, that's pretty obvious. How did I miss it? Ugh. Right, that's one you can see loose as, of course it's the one where the exhaust is, so that's kind of makes it more difficult to see, but you can hear the movement in there. Obviously not good, needs sorting, but a cheap and easy job to do. And again, these are going to be I think they're the 3/8 UNF. These particular ones, that one's loose as well. God dear me, yeah, they're all totally, God, Bennett. Good job I didn't just drive on. Last thing you want is these things flying out when you're revving along. Oh, that one, yeah, I can feel the next one up as well. Is loose. That one's loose. That one is loose as Billy-O. Oh, yep. Definitely, that's what needs doing. Right, now I need some locking nuts on there. And replacement ones. You can't put those ones back because the nylon locking bits will be completely rogered. The bolts are fine, they can just be cleaned up, but definitely need new nuts. Seems I was wrong. I think they're not 3/8, I think they're 5/16, because that is a 3/8 one, which is considerably larger bore than this one. That's a 5/16. So yeah, fortunately I happen to have both in stock. In fact, I've got a lot more of the 5/16 than I have the other ones. So that is good news. Yeah, 5/16 is what you need. 1/2-inch spanner, we'll put those on. Well, you need 2 1/2-inch spanners. Well, that's got my 4 nuts on there now. One thing, when you're doing this, though, do make sure when you tension them, you do it evenly. Don't just do one up as tight as possible and move on to the next one. Better to go opposite sides and just keep turning it round as you do it and tension them all evenly, and that'll be much better than potentially making it out of kilter. Anyway, right, so last thing I'm going to do, because whenever I jack the car up, I tend to look for any grease nipples, some grease. It's a bit like on my Moggy Miner. It's always worth doing. People moan about kingpins on Moggy Miners. Kingpins last forever if you keep them well greased. So yeah, just always a good idea when it's jacked up, just to give it a bit of grease. Cheers.